Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Greg and I are here at a building that you guys may recognize. This was a big build series on the channel 2 years ago. I cannot believe that it has been already 2 years. We built this for a client, actually longtime friends of mine. I've worked for their own family business when I was younger, and they blessed us with the opportunity to build this. It started off as a small cabin. So that's why we called it the Cabin in the Woods. But really what this is a family building. Like, it's a place for this family. It's a large family, 3 brothers and all of their kids and now grandkids. This is where they get to come, hang out, be a family, and it's awesome. In fact, Greg, I feel like it's been forever, and I forgot how cool.
Yeah, every time you drive up here, it's just so cool, like seeing this.
Yeah.
Just out here in the middle of the woods.
Yep. So I thought, let's go through. I got permission from the homeowner to just do a walkthrough. We have never gone back and walked through a project of ours 2 years later.
Never.
I'm curious to see how things are holding up, to see how they've kind of moved into it, and just overall share that with you guys, because I always get questions about the interior and how things turn out, because sometimes we're out of here before we get to see that. So let's go ahead and walk around this building. The first thing you're going to see is this chimney. If you guys remember, that's all Rosetta Stone, and there is an active chimney in here. So that was a big part of this project, was a fireplace. It was a lot of work. First thing I noticed is, and this is not a new thing, and I'm gonna call it out right now. Greg and I are not perfect, and my client is gonna probably see this. We need to come back here and put a couple screws in your wall that we have missed. We punch all of our steel, so sometimes if you miss putting a screw in, well, you got to come back. And I seen a couple up here that we got to come back and put in. So that's kind of good to kind of see how things are turning out. We got the these were Lifestyle, Pella Lifestyle.
Yes, I think so.
Yep, windows, they all look nice. This was a big part of this build, was, you know, having this porch to look out into. They got a pond. They do a lot of hunting out here. And in fact, let's go out here and take a look back at this porch, because this was something that Greg and I had never really done, and that is a 2-story porch. And there was some complications here because some things changed, and this porch is not a waterproof porch. It's an open deck on top, and the client had added putting a ceiling underneath the entire porch after we'd already framed it flat for a nice deck. So what we did here was, and I've got all these videos, I think there's 50 plus build series videos, but this whole ceiling is actually a sloped ceiling. Kind of think it as an upside down roof, and it brings all the water that goes through that deck out to here, and then we've got a guttered, basically like a J-channel with a drip, and you can see there is some moisture. This is cedar. I don't know if it's ever been sealed, Greg.
Doesn't look like it.
No, I don't think they've ever sealed it. So this is just 2 years of being out in the sun. You can see it's a little bit gray, which I kind of like how cedar does that. But, you know, it's just one of those things that we did this porch, didn't really know, talked to the client, said, hey, this is what we're going to do, because we kind of an afterthought. And I think it's working out pretty good. So, yeah, we got fire, we got Rosetta Stone around the entire thing. We're using rib steel. This is taupe, right?
Yes, it's taupe.
Taupe, metal sails taupe, and then we got black. And as we come around here, oh, I forgot to mention, guys, what we're here for is, this is a standing seam metal roof, means no fasteners. So when snow collects on this roof, there's nothing to hold it up there. And when it does finally let go, it's like an avalanche. And you'll see here when we come around this corner, what happened was the first year that we did this, it was finished in the winter time, and they didn't even get through the first winter before enough snow came off, and they had a big carriage light here and took it right off. So we're gonna be putting snow retention bars up on this roof, and that's gonna be a video. So if you guys want to learn about that, that'll be on the channel as well. But let's go inside and take a look and see what we got.
You can't see that.
Yeah. All right, so here on the inside, we've got the garage space. Now, this was never intended actually to be a garage for a vehicle.
Correct.
We're only like 18, think we're 18 feet deep.
Yes.
Something like that. So it's more of a catch-all. You'll see just random things, mowers, golf carts, stuff like that. People love utility rooms. I also am kind of a fan of this sort of thing because the beauty of a good radiant heated system. We've got all the boilers, the condenser, whatever, well tanks, you know, all these different pipes and manifolds. It's all to service the domestic water as well as the radiant heat down in the cement, which is the only heat and air that is in here. So there is no air conditioner, there's no forced air. And I talked to the client just before we got here, and he said that not one time have they been here during the summer where he actually felt like it was too hot in here. It holds its temperature really nice because it's very well insulated, and they have, as you're gonna see, a big fan that moves enough air to keep it pretty darn comfortable. So this is one of those areas everybody loves, but I don't know. We didn't do any of that work, so I can't take any credit for it. All right, we're gonna go inside, but out of respect, because this ain't my house, I'm taking off my boots. Nice. So we're gonna come right in here. This is the utility room. This is set up for washer dryer. I see they don't have one yet, which no big deal. Coat hooks. It's just a nice catch-all.
Speaking of
Okay,
coat
let's do that, huh?
it's pretty warm in
I hope
here.
there's no like assigned coat hook here. It is warm in here. I don't know what it's at. So this is, I was also told, because you'll find out there's no bedrooms in here, and I know people are so discouraged about the fact that we built this with no bedrooms. The homeowner said this is where they put the kids when they need to sleep if it's too late at night. Otherwise, everybody goes home at night. There is no sleeping over. Look at this massive kitchen. I forgot how big it was.
This is a huge kitchen.
Yeah. So one thing I want to note too is that, you know, you're going to see things in people's houses. Whenever you go into somebody's house, you see how they've decorated it, how they've designed it, what they've done. It's not always going to be what you would do, and that's fine. I would love to hear comments down below, but you know, be respectful that I think everything in here is 100% perfect what our client wanted.
Yes.
You know, is it how I would do something exactly? Maybe not, but that doesn't really matter. The one thing that I talked to my client about, I said, hey, what are some things that you would change? And Greg, you know, one of the things that they said is the thing that they would change or at least do better next time was the ceiling.
Oh,
So
the echoing and
yes, so this is a steel ceiling, which they did for just the economy of cleanliness, ease of install. There's no drywall anywhere in the entire building. We've got I-joists, we've got steel, and we've got a bunch of kids that are potentially running around up here.
Yeah.
And they said it has a little bit of an echo or a tingy noise where I don't know if a rubber gasket like on the stud would help or if just a bunch of rock wool like safe and sound. I don't know. Maybe you guys could let me know if you've done this sort of thing, but they said that's the only thing on the inside that they would definitely change or do better. Let's go into here. This is the only bathroom in the house. I say house, but it's not really a house. It's just it's a place of gathering. We've got a separate, double sink, and that is separate from the bath and the shower because obviously when you've got a big family over here, someone's cooking out in the kitchen, people can wash up, get ready for a meal if you're preparing it. And here you've got shower, toilet, all in a separate room. You guys notice the wood everywhere? Greg and I installed wood on the walls for weeks. 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
oh, I think it was like probably 3 weeks.
I don't know. It was a long time. This was all pre-finished, pre-stained. Like it came just like this from Woodworker's Shop, I believe in Michigan.
Yeah.
So if you ever need a product like this, I highly recommend them. Remember this?
That corner, yeah.
Yes, I spent all that time on that corner, then we covered it up. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, all these corners, they're all looking good. Yep.
I think the other cool thing about the wood
Yeah.
is it wasn't this red
Yes.
when we started.
The color has changed drastically. In fact, do you kind of see like by the...
right there next to the window, it's
Yeah.
really light where the sun doesn't hit.
Yep. Yeah, it's darkened up a lot. Yeah. Man, Just, that's pretty darn sweet. Look at this post, man. That was a 4-piece. Can you even see that that's pieces?
It looks like one piece.
Look at that. See, this is amazing because one of the things a lot of people commented on YouTube when we were building this was there ain't no way that wood is gonna hold up in a unconditioned space without an air conditioner. You're gonna have moisture, you're gonna have movement. It's gonna look like garbage. Look at this post. I put this together with 4 pieces of wood.
Yeah.
I don't see any cracks, Greg.
No, I don't see one either.
I don't see any. I mean, if you look really close, you can see a joint, but some of this, look, you can't even see a joint.
It looks like one piece wrapping around this corner right here.
Literally looks like one piece. That is
so cool.
amazing. In fact, now that I'm looking around at the walls, I mean, there's nothing that sticks out. These joints don't look huge. Yeah, you can see that they've opened up a little bit in some areas.
It's so minimal though.
But I think that the detail of this material with the chamfered edge,
yeah,
it takes away all of that.
My mom would have killed.
You know,
for
another
something
thing
like
that happened here, actually, Greg, do you remember, was we had to change around all these cabinets.
Oh, that's right.
Kind of forgot about that, and it kind of changed up some of this stuff, but because of, and we did okay, but there was some miscommunication, and there's a little bit of difference of cabinet layout. You'd never know.
Not
it.
much, a couple inches.
No, it was more like those cabinets were supposed to look the same. See, like those cabinets were supposed to be next to each other, but we were trying to shoot for the center of this window with the sink, and we're still off an inch or two, but I bet nobody would have even noticed if I wouldn't have pointed it out.
No.
So,
These poles look nice.
who did those?
Yeah, I wonder who did that.
I wonder how many got messed up though. Do you remember?
No, I'm sure.
Speaking of mess ups, we also had to redo
Yeah,
the
this kitchen
ceiling.
was not my finest moment.
Greg had a couple of mishaps, and I didn't let him live it down for quite a while. We had to reorder all the steel, and then 2 doors.
I think it was like 3 or 4.
Okay. Yeah, maybe there was a mistake, but I think it was a teachable mistake because I didn't show you how to. I didn't tell you. I conceptually thought that a guy would figure out that not all drawers are the same, so we had a guide.
I don't think it was the drawers. I think it was the difference between like a door and then the drawer. And like it was something was off just a little bit, and
No big deal, dude.
lessons learned.
Lessons learned. And every time we do a kitchen from now on, Greg has to do the poles because I want him to prove his worth to me. Greg, do you remember this guy?
Yeah, I remember hanging this guy, making sure he was perfectly level with our stabilas.
There was nothing to put a stabila on. We eyeballed that sucker.
No, we put it on the rack.
Oh, okay.
That's what we did.
But this is the main goal of this building. Look at this room. Look at this fireplace.
It is insane.
Yeah, customers said that they absolutely love this, and it's like one of the best parts of this building is putting a fire in the winter.
Yeah.
And just sitting here and enjoying, you know, they said that at least every week there's people out here, groups, just kind of enjoying.
I would be out here all the time if
Yeah.
that was my place.
Yeah. I don't know if they have internet or Wi-Fi out here, if the kids are, you know, attached to devices or if they're just being kids. But
Yeah, I don't even think you need it.
so if you're curious, this is a 40 by 72 structure, and we've got a 17-foot side wall. And then you'll notice the ceiling is actually pitched with a 212 or maybe a 1 3/4 pitch, which gives you a little bit of additional height in the center. So the other thing to notice is all concrete floor. So this is a stained concrete. I don't remember the color they used, ebony? I think it was called ebony.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then I think it just has like a clear coat. Believe it or not, Greg, remember, we worked on this the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's not like we worked and then they finished. This is just naturally, you can see kids' scuff marks, and honestly, I don't have
I'm sure they have like skateboards or rollerblades or.
How do these stairs feel? Do you hear that? That would be no creaking.
Those are solid.
These were also from the woodworker shop.
Yep.
Got a nice handrail. Remember doing this handrail?
I helped out a little bit with it.
Oh, that's right.
But
I guess I did most
this
of
was
it,
all
didn't
you.
I think you were doing like wooden stuff. So this space is strictly just to put the kids up here, and now you can probably gather why it's loud down below in the kitchen because this open area, I know if I was a...
There it is. You hear it?
Hear it? So with enough movement, you can just barely hear the creak, and I bet you it's louder downstairs.
Yeah.
Of the metal on the ceiling. So, you know, live and learn. I told the client that I'm sure there's a good solution that we can do if it really bothers you. He said it's not bothersome enough to do anything about it now because they don't live here all the time. This is just a place to get away from life and just be out in nature. So this is pretty sweet though. Some stats about this building. We have a R21 closed cell blown in the walls with a R38 or an R45, I can't remember, fiberglass in the ceiling. And the client said that it heats really well and doesn't cost much to heat it at all. So this is all running off of propane with that gas boiler down there in the radiant heat. But there's no air conditioning. Got a nice shuffleboard.
Kyle, do you remember when we almost had over half of this floor done? And then there's this one spot that didn't connect back here. We had to take it all up.
Was that
just for that one spot?
Yeah, was that before or after Cole helped us? Because did we try to blame it on Cole?
I think he just started that day.
Yeah, we pulled this whole floor up. Dude, we were more than halfway done. We were probably 3/4.
I think we were pretty close to almost being done, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's this one spot that wasn't fastened right.
It didn't clip in. It was somewhere over here. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. When you look into the sun, you can see how flat this floor is. That's pretty impressive.
Do we use LP?
This is all legacy inch and an eighth.
Legacy inch and an eighth,
Yeah.
that's right.
Look at that floor though.
That's a nice floor. Very flat.
Let's go out to this porch, get a real view. This was when we met with the client for the first time. This porch was like, they wanted the fireplace, they wanted the porch, and that was like it.
It's a nice deck.
Man.
It still looks good even after
This is
couple
all,
years.
what is this? This is AZEK PVC 3-inch tongue and groove. So this is where we were concerned because underneath of us is that ceiling and we don't have a water drainage system. So water is gonna hit these grooves, go down and work out on top of that roof. That was the goal, that's what we assumed, and I'm glad it looks like it's working. The other thing the client was going to do, Greg, remember, was the screens.
Screen, yeah.
So this was going to be all screened in, hence why we kind of we made half post here. There was going to be a screen built in here, and they decided that, honestly, they don't need it. They said, other than the birds coming up and maybe occasionally pooping on the chairs. I mean, look at this. We got this epic view out to the pond. I mean, I could sit here all day, I think. But when you come back in, now you can kind of take a look at what I think is the best view. And that is looking out, you can see to the pond. We got these massive lifestyle Pella windows with the fireplace in the middle. And it's not a big ass fan, that's not the brand, but you can now see what I was talking about. That's a 12-foot, I think it's a 12-foot, 12-foot or 10-foot?
10-foot, I think.
I don't know.
Actually, you know what? It might be 12-foot.
It might be a 12-foot in total.
If I was to lay down from the edge of the blade to the center, yeah, it's about 6 foot.
Maybe. I don't know. So I think it's just impressive that even after 2 years, we've gone through the seasons twice now, that these wood joints are still holding together on all these trims. Yes, there's a little bit of shrinkage in some of these boards on the walls, but I'm super stoked to see that because, you know, as a builder, you do things hoping for the best because you learn through experience and other people's knowledge that they share with you. And a lot of people said all those joints are gonna come apart because you're not using an air conditioner. You're gonna have humidity and issues all summer long. And we haven't found anything that's, Greg, have you seen anything?
I haven't seen nothing.
I mean, it looks really good and it's holding up really nice. Look at this. All of these freaking doors, all these trims are still money, dude.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Every one of them. Are those Craig? Those are pocket. Yes, those are pocket holes screwed and glued. Yep. Every one of them is still perfect, dude.
Incredible.
Anyway, guys, this project is one of those projects that every time I come back, I think, I can't believe we did that.
It is pretty
I
incredible.
mean, we did a lot of this all ourselves. We literally did the framing, the roofing, all the interior. I mean, the things we didn't do would be the concrete, the mechanicals, plumbing,
yeah.
electrical. Otherwise, we did it all, and it's really cool, I think, to say that you were able to build something with your hands.
Yep.
And I just wanted to bring you guys through to kind of get a feel for what this looks like finished, because I get a lot of questions from people like, can you really make a post frame or a pole barn home look good? You can do whatever you want in them. Like literally, this interior could be 100% different.
Yep.
And it wouldn't change the shell, the building, the main structure of the post frame. So if it's something that you want to do, if you want to build a home, I think you can get a very good quality and good cost. What's the word I'm looking for, Greg?
Effective?
You're the wordsmith.
Cost effective?
It's cost effective. Yes. Thank you.
Gotcha.
It's a cost-effective way to get what you want and have the flexibility in design. So yeah, believe it or not, I'm in love. Someday I'm going to do this for myself. And if you guys enjoyed this, if you guys are thinking about doing post frame, make sure you're subscribed so that you can hopefully learn more from Greg and I on how to do it, at least how we do it, how it can hopefully help you and benefit you. And remember, we're here to do a snow bar install, which is a snow retention system. So if that's something that interests you, look for that on the channel as well. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, and we'll catch you in the next video.